Hello, I think we're up and running finally. Sorry about that. Hello, Stego. Hello, Edsa. You gonna curse my car again? That's gonna be a paddling. I think we have everything up and running now. Hopefully, I would hope. But yeah. Hello, Jamie. I want to say Jamie, but you're Jomi, Yalma. Sorry for butchering your name. Hello, BT. So, just a disclaimer. It's very hot. My computer is kind of struggling because of that, because, well, don't really have an AC, don't really need that up here. Thank you, BT. Welcome. Thank you for your support. So I might be a little bit cranky here. We'll have to see how long I can actually go for, because sitting in this chair is actually punishment. But we'll have some fun here. We'll see how the McLaren goes. Like team with McLaren, got a great lineup. That was Charles and Lando. Very nice, Stego. Hi, Dark. So yeah, BT, thank you again for joining. Appreciate it a lot. So yeah, I'll probably spend the first 5 minutes just getting, reacquainted with where we were. It does do a number of me playing more than one save. That's actually caused a bit of a problem. But looking at this, I would assume that, well, Piastri did destroy the car last time around. So we'll see just how badly it destroys it this time as well. So let's get everything fixed here. And we'll go through our parts and figure out what we need to manufacture, so that we can actually have somewhat competitive cars. So we did break that gearbox. Does he have... Yeah, we're good there still, I think. I hope. 80 million left in the cost cap at Miami. You can just make standard research or standard designs and you should be good. Hello, Marco. Honestly, 80 million is still plenty, to be fair. Okay, so the rest parts, we're good. Let's check the warehouse here, and as I said, manufacture what we are missing. Okay, I'm just gonna double check where we're at, because yeah, the save is not optimized, unlike the alpha save, like the other saves, so we are gonna have to do a little bit of work here to catch up to where we were. And yeah, we're just gonna stick with this rear wing for now. The other one would probably be better, but we're just gonna do this one to have a little bit of an advantage there. And we are going to need 2 more side pods as well. Again, just want to double check. Yeah, we want to stay with the other one because we need that engine cooling rather than a little bit of stat boost. Forest and Rowell will be affected by weather. Holland wants to Singapore. I don't know if this sounds fun. Yeah, BT UK is fast. On a can that would show, that is actually straight up impressive. Not for season 2. Show already at 84. Nice. Apart from Porsche is going to be the go-to driver this year. Honestly, blah, I haven't actually tested all around with them, but Porsche is probably best bet, yeah. Hello, Kai. Charles and Lando, 2nd and 4th at Baku. That's pretty good, Steo, honestly. Progress is progress. We'll take that. Yeah, I think we're caught up. We are about to start the weekend at Austria in 11 days. That could be interesting. We are leading at the moment, but yeah, with all the destruction, I don't know if we're going to be leading by the end. Now look in terms of the cost cap. 50 million, we're halfway through the season. We are going to have to probably, yeah, play it a little bit safer. We'll have to see exactly how we make this work. So rear wing has been manufactured. Let's see where we're at on the underfloors. We're actually caught up. We are. Suspension, need 1 more. So with this, once all these manufacturing projects are done, we should be caught up. And we're caught up on research as well. So let us continue. Still a research bug. I haven't seen any patches to, fix it. So yeah, should still be there. Do I think front wing is the best upgrade? Probably not, to be fair. You're going to have a lot... Your front wing is going to probably be your best one for low-speed cornering. But generally, your suspension is going to be a good source of low-speed cornering. Your chassis and your side pods are going to be a good source of high-speed cornering. So a lot of the parts are balanced. I still think underfloor is going to be your most important one because it gives you a good balance. Basically, a good base, as I like to say, to work from. But I am a little bit uncertain what would be the best part. They've all been pretty well rebalanced. Now, concerned about the race sim, shut down for 7 days, 70,000 will approve of that. Basically, 1 less week of progress. We can survive that, and we should have a sprint weekend coming up. So that should be fun. But yeah, I don't know about the rest of the world, but right now we are being melted in Norway. And I'm not a fan. I don't handle heat well. Let's just put it like that. With upcoming board review, I think we're fine. Race sim concerns. Shows various signs of structural damage. So as you can see here, we get a refurbishment for 210,000. This is basically one of the more positive, I think, results. But I just want to check here. We didn't actually need to refurbish it just yet, so yeah. I don't know. That was really it's gonna be worth it, but we'll take it. It's a free refurbish. Well, not free. We still have to pay money, but we'll do that. Yeah. You're getting fined due to that. Yeah, the board really hates that. Like, you can actually finish last, and the board would probably be happy with you than if you spend a little bit too much money. So be careful with that. Both drivers in Q3, I think we can gamble on. Qualifying position again, just both drivers in Q3, not QT, and that'll make it a little bit easier. Let's head to Austria. There is a sprint weekend, which could, of course, mess up those sponsor targets, but we'll see. Better than
Welcome along to
Fed
the
Proposal Regulation
spectacular
Rules cost
setting
cap.
of Austria.
That would actually be kind of interesting. 5 rounds left. Yeah, as BT says, just don't spend money. Run older pass if you have to. You just have to do whatever you can to survive. Hello, Fabricio. I am doing great, except for assets at the heat. I'm glad you enjoyed the content. But yeah, basically, you're just gonna have to put everything into. We're not spending money no more, basically. Now, we are going to be simming the practice because, well, that is usually what we do. But if you're a little bit uncertain, I would probably recommend you do particularly Austria P1, probably manually, because, again, it is a sprint weekend. But you can sim this one fairly easily. And I actually did get the post-it notes, so this time around we're actually going to remember to do this. Just this one time, I promise. We'll go back to forgetting that we have a reserve quick enough. We are going to have to buy new ERS for sure for Piastri at one point. We'll have to see what we do with the engines here because we're almost halfway through. And already it is kind of damaged. We might need to run a damaged engine here too. Or just save it for later in the season and run it then. We'll probably also need an extra gearbox. So yeah, we're going to have to spend some cost cap here to do with the boys. We'll have to see how we do that. You see all of them red? Yeah, you can have a bad time poker, unfortunately. If you are really struggling, you might actually just need to send your car out for the race and retire on lap 1 to, again, save durability so you don't go below 0. So you can actually send the car out with those parts. And you might actually need to take manual control of practice and just don't do them if it's really dire. Light of Hope came around, bought it at the Grand Prix. I wish you luck. Hope they don't take each other out. Yeah. Car was bad for the last 3 races. I think a lot of people are going to be breaking cost cap at the different times, though. The game kind of is better balanced financially. This time I see to McLaren, copied all my first upgrade, but I'm lacking so much on research. Yeah, the McLaren first season is not optimized by any means necessary. It's basically me doing a bit of testing. So if you want to copy something, probably copy the alpha one. It's probably the most up-to-date one. Although I believe that Mike Takumi has made like a optimized sliders for every part design thing. So you can follow that, but it's probably going to make the game a bit boring in the long run. I'll have a look at that probably sometime later. Retire cast lap 1 is OP, but the board won't be. Yeah, that's the thing. Need to keep the board a little bit happy. Norris said your hand first season. Let's fit everyone's points. You've trained him to 99 smoothness. Man just doesn't, tires doesn't die, they just survive. But yeah, we're just gonna sim practice it and kind of power through. I think probably a couple of races here. I won't have too much time today in terms of recording, but we hit 95 setups for both. So that is very good. We'll take that. Hello, Nenka. How you doing?
Determine starting positions.
Looking at this guy, but still confused for the first time player. Yeah. Basically, I think the best way to play this game is probably just don't use a guide for your first run. Be a little bit confused. do I want to pop? Yeah, we'll pop an engine. We'll pop the seal in a new engine practice, and we'll use the bad one for the race because again, the cost gap is getting kind of dangerously close. We'll use this one again as long as it doesn't go below 50%. We should be okay. Yeah, both cars have taken a beating. A bit more than one might expect, but that is how it goes sometimes. It's Austria, ready at round 10. Norris can do a one-stop on every track. Yeah. Going into this yet, and the boys still have with me. Yeah, the thing is with depth though is that it basically it's a negative modifier that lasts for eternity. That's the thing. I do also love that this thing is kind of funny because Norris didn't do the first practice. Apparently, his confidence is low as a starting point because it says high. But look at the effects on the right. So for sprints, might not want to use your boys, but we'll check if this is accurate in the race. We'll see. Braked has crashing out, bringing out the virtual. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, again, Norris has high confidence, but gets punished way higher than Piastri, so this is going to be a bit interesting. Let's send Norris out first so he doesn't, you know, take out Piastri by accident. I'm actually sad because it is just straight up unbearably hot right now. To the point where it isn't funny. Now, both our drivers should be through with this run, I think, unless we have some dry spells towards the end. That should not be enough that they'll be able to improve, I hope. But we might just set our car up for it and do, you know, charge run towards the end. Send them out the last to 40 maybe. Be good. My save every race has crashes. They've been pretty stable in some of my other saves, so that's interesting. It's almost 30 degrees in the sun. It's probably less in the, well, shadows, of course. But for me, who barely am used to 20 degrees, that feels absolutely, you know, mind-melting. So, it's not good for me. Most people would probably be fine, though. It's just me not handling heat well. Hey, Ollie, it's going well, except for the heat. I'm good. Ultimate be destroying has cost for parts, yeah. It also doesn't help that the room that I am currently streaming from faces the sun, so it gets extra heated up as a result. Don't even have AC, unfortunately. Don't really need it up here. Stable in mind, probably because I'm managing it. Jesus. Let's see if we get a run in for both of these. Probably won't be enough time to get both of my run. Well, we'll get one run, of course, but I'm thinking the second run. It will be a little bit in the way here for the others. Norris might actually get 2 runs in. But he's getting blocked right now, I think, by Gasly. Yeah, look at that. So during quali, what I'm assuming is happening right now is just straight up that Gasly's on a slow lap. But they didn't overtake him. I need to have a look at the data view there on the lap history for that final one. Let's see here. That is the out lap. This was their best lap. So yeah, 4 seconds slower. 5 seconds slower. So Gasly was on a slow lap and it just didn't overtake him. Okay, that is actually dangerous then. You can actually just send your cars out on the slow laps, I assume that, which would be broken. Like really broken. But yeah, apparently rainy qualities could be fun in that manner. Feeling at 11 degrees, that would honestly feel a lot better right now, honestly. What is 7 degrees for me in Celsius? It's 30 degrees Celsius, Poco, so don't worry about it. 22 degrees in Britain? Pretty sure you guys would still be kind of melty, to be fair. No rain today? See if we can actually get into Q3 for both our boys. Get a little bit extra money. After Spain, I have around 20 points. That's pretty good, man, honestly. That is a good start. You should be very, very happy with that. Oh, we are getting rain, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We should be safely through, then, I would assume. So we'll just speed things along.
Light rain on the radar. Yep, copy.
Well, the BT just goes, it's been too much rain, and then guy in-game actually goes, it's light rain on the radar. You're getting flashbacks. Honestly, we've had a pretty rainy July, so we've kind of been waiting for this, but at the same time, it is just unbearably hot. And unfortunately, because school hasn't actually really started yet, we basically just have kind of, how should I put this, daycare kindergarten for the younger students. We don't really have any particular school stuff to do, so we spend a lot of time outside, which does not help me. I've been melting, so if the weather's basically gonna continue like this week, so I'm probably not gonna be able to stream again, just for my own sanity from the heat, before the weekend sometime, but we'll see. It is a tad rough, but I'll go survive.
Track should be green.
P5's looking good for us. We 20 or so points out of Alpine. That's pretty good, honestly. As long as you beat the board objective for your first season, I think you've done a good job. Yeah. I work as a teacher, Stego, so no, it's basically the kids just straight out of kindergarten up to the 5th. Well, technically 4th, but yeah. First class kids, so how old are they? 6, 7-year-olds mostly. And I wish the the Middle East are just like, we need rain races. Let's make artificial rain that is heavy enough to stay on the ground when the other cars drive over it. Okay, we're actually gonna have the best chance here towards the end, so we'll do another run just to be safe. Although we have a pretty decent run here already, I dare say. But this basically maximized due to the rain, I think. I kind of forgot that we are going to get blocked here, so now we're going to be the blockies. Sound 20 plus in school, you said, so I got an mental error. Wait a minute, that doesn't compute, yeah. School starts here on, I believe it's the 21st, yeah. 21st. That's when it properly starts, but as I said, for August we have basically daycare, so it is what it is. F1 rain at Abu Dhabi would be honestly a very interesting way to end the season. First, I qualified for C2 with 3 parts upgraded. I'd like to see where your McLaren stand this season. Probably you'd still be probably fine, I think, honestly. But yeah, we qualified first and second here, and mainly this. Why did Piastri eat a penalty here? What did he do? But yeah, the main gap here is actually going to be. Nope. Just a little bit of speed then, beginning. Nice. Norris didn't improve that much, but he had a pretty decent everything here. We'll take that. Cole with milk ball. Leclerc and Piastri, both a Fiari. Guess that's what they're going to be renamed when Piastri ever goes there. They're going to become the Fiari. Practice 2. Let's put on the bad parts. Get this through. Then we'll do the sprint. Then we should probably have a good time. But yeah, I'll have to see actually what I have energy for this week in terms of making videos, because again, I'm melting. I should have one out tonight, which basically is a bit of a sprint guide somehow. Generally just how I would deal with sprint weekends if I did go all in. That should, as I said, be out later today. Just need to edit the final last pieces together, then we're good. But yeah, I'll have to see what I do going for Thursday and Friday in particular. I should be fine with the Alpha and AlphaTauri, but the secondary video might not arrive. That makes sense. We'll see. Could I look at how I get when I'm done with the week? Of course. Just remind me, BT, and I'll check that.
We're back, and the action is
3rd and 6th in Q1. Looks like you have a pretty good sign point there, Harry. I wouldn't be too worried. Okay, let's put on some better parts. That engine might become yellow during the race itself, or the sprint. That is honestly okay. The idea, basically a ranking of F2, F3 drivers. I could do that, but that would, again, require me to actually have a bit of a more look at the stats. Particularly smoothness seems to be very, very good this year. So there are a few F2 and F3 drivers that have decent overalls, decent pace stats, but completely lack smoothness, and the other way around. So I'm probably going to have to scout everyone to have a look at that. 3 out of 4 pages so far. You really paying attention now. It's I'm glad you enjoy. Hopefully it helps you. The show is proving to be very popular. It could be, yeah. Bottas in season 2 feels like Gas in 21, always 5th. Wish you could send your reserve driver down to F2 or something else. It would be nice, but remember the rules of F2 are very simple. If you win it, you're not allowed to compete there anymore. Like, you get kicked out if you're too good. You're so good in quali, right? In recipe for long. If you use the 2 qualifying stint thing, you will be doing very, very well in quali, and then pull off a bit in races. It's just how things are, because you are placing higher than you should. Gonna sign him. Got now Vesti. You're gonna switch him out with Vesti, I assume. Vesti isn't really a terrible choice either, for that matter. Did about 36 in this game now, and I still keep getting fired at the midpoint of season 1. How are you pulling that off, Martin? I understand it's a bit frustrating, but generally you just have to... Basically, at the start of a race, you just have to have a look at it and see who is actually the one we're racing, and just focus your fight with them. And even if you fall down, I'll usually have a lot of fun with that. Now, we are going to run the mediums here, and even if we run them as you see conserve, it won't really have much to say on the pace. So I think we can just run this standard to attack if we need to get by someone. I think that will be the idea here. So let's jump into this. Piastri and Norris starts a little bit away from each other. Should ensure that they don't take each other out immediately, at least. Let's see how the sprint goes.
Here in Austria, we're all ready to go for the sprint.
I would love it too, BT, if they expanded the youth academy system, so to speak. Okay, everyone is here on the mediums. Let's see how this goes. And Piastri got promoted to 2nd row. Okay, because the penalty doesn't actually apply until after the sprint. I see. I guess. Or does the penalty actually apply to sprint weekends at all? I'm confused. We'll see. I guess we'll see after this this sprint of ours. Because I haven't actually paid too much attention to that, because we usually don't eat too many penalties. The thing is, Martin, the McLaren starting point is based on where they were at the start of the season. And I think we can all agree that Bahrain, for instance, pre-season testing wasn't looking that promising for them. They've been good in the last couple of races, let's be honest. Well, last few, really. But at the start of the season, they were disastrous, and that is why they are as they are, to be fair. Albon up in P4, yeah, that is a bit of an insane one, to be fair. And if he can actually hold them up, we can probably, you know, have a 2-man fight here with the Red Bull car, and potentially take each other out in the process. That would not surprise me. I think what we're going to do here is
Pack is low.
switch both of them on both of these, just so that we kind of minimize risk a little bit more. Make life a little bit safer for all of us. Charge a little bit and then turn them back to neutral. We should be okay. 5th and 7th? Maybe my car's as bad as I thought. Probably isn't, Harry, honestly. Sponsored drive stuff, I think yes, I'm not considered that much, but that keeps improving. I think, again, I think the main thing here is not really how well they perform during a race. It would be interesting if the how well they perform during a race in terms of drive growth actually combined with the confidence rather than where they finish, which it might actually be. So it's a bit of an interesting one there. Schumacher's 20th. Roy Nassani. I got him too at one point.
We've got the yellow
As
flag
Austria
here.
promised, we had a crash. See what happened. I agree, Martin, but that's how they've chosen to do this. It's
Really?
Russell violence.
And you can just feel the frustration.
So, Russell and Alonso, with Alonso taking the penalty. Yeah, that is, that's not too surprising. Yeah, I agree with you, Edson, there. Basically, you need to just figure out where you're at and focus your fight there. Because this game is actually quite, you know, ruthless in the fact that you're going to have a hard time beating the top 4 teams the first season, usually. So you kind of need to figure out where your fight is and just focus that. What season last year did new gen drivers start making it into actual teams? I honestly don't remember or know. It didn't happen a lot, and I didn't really play too many saves past, you know, season 3 or 4 for, well, YouTube for mainly. So I'm actually a bit uncertain, but probably 5+ seasons, I'd think, because they need time to grow. Let's be honest. Going soft on Coda Sprint, bad idea, but I'll do the gamble. They have kind of rebalanced Coda a bit, so it doesn't chew your tires anymore, so it might not be a bad gamble, Poco. That's why I don't turn up the defense settings when running with them, yeah. Honestly, also, the amount of loss you have when you run always defend though on some tracks, it's just not worth it as well. So that's a secondary reason why I wouldn't really go super aggressive. Now we are losing some confidence because Norris can't get by Verstappen, of course, but that is honestly fine right now. As long as they're running with him, we can launch an attack towards the end of the sprint here. Karen so well can just stick to the back. And the race is going to be eaten up, yeah. With a sponsor? Good luck with a sponsor in the Alpha Saver. I got one of the Italian drivers. Hello, Yodelio. 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 I think what the plan is going to be here for us is honestly just attack a few laps before the end. Because if you start attacking, like say on the final lap, the second final lap, the AI will actually go full attack too. So you kind of need to get a little bit of a gap so they feel like, oh, I can't catch him. Which is interesting because they don't seem to do that on every track. And mainly it's, again, to the tire and things like that, but it seems to be kind of an interesting one. Honestly. Let's drive, safety car, first lap, very nice. Now only rain. Wet Miami-ish is usually fine. Now Russell could actually be a bit of a, yeah, Russell is going to be a bit of a blockhead here. Russell might have actually just allowed Verstappen to get away from Piastri. Hopefully though, with a little bit of ERS usage, we can actually catch up. But yeah, that could have been bad. Lapping in this game is kind of interesting because they made it more aggressive, I feel, than last year's game. Where sometimes the cars just will not get away, no matter what you do. And in other cases, they basically will allow you to lose close to 3 or 4 seconds a lap just to, you know, allow the car pass. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. This game's like the Dark Souls of manager games. Ansman, if you want, you can just tell me what the problem is. If you go into your board confidence on your latest save, let me know what it says and we can try and help you out. 8 Piastri in your career, his crash cost you a lot. Honestly, as long as you keep his confidence somewhat high, you should be fine. But also, running low on these two will allow you to minimize, you know, risks of implosions, so to speak. I think we are getting to the point now where we are going to start focusing a little bit more aggressive use of tires for Piastri. Probably potentially just full attack here from Norris, see if we can pull away. Although, we probably should top up our, or rather harvest, just straight up harvest from this lap here now. For for energy. That should make it a little bit easier. Obviously for both, and then they will hopefully be able to attack on the next couple of laps. Should make it a little bit easier when we actually have energy to do that. Okay, Norris, this is going to be your big break. Can you make it happen? Basically, we took him a little bit too soon there, so that he gets DRS. That's not going to be great. Piastri, it looks like he can actually get that overtake done as well. That's mad.
You can start pushing.
If we actually got that overtake done, DRS versus DRS with the Red Bull, that would have been kind of too much, honestly. Piastri crashed a lot in a lot of saves, yeah. That does seem to be the consensus, that he is the Piastri in this game. Yay! Norris has pulled a gap here, so honestly, just staying where we are is actually kind of good. Because that should mean that we should be able to overtake him in that final overtake zone. So we're going to put this to high, which is, you know, kind of risky because he doesn't have the best confidence right now. But if we get him down to the final zone, that would be great. If he kills Verstappen, that works out too, but again, wouldn't really advocate for that. Let's see if we can get the run that we need into the next corner. Does look like it. But we do probably have Verstappen on the inside, I would assume. Yep. But we pulled it off. Very nice. Change Piastri, I'm glad I did it. Yeah. Hope they rebalance ratings. It would be nice if they did, honestly, or just give you what I have suggested. Like at the start of a save, you can rebalance, basically give you rebalanced driver ratings, so you can pick one from, say, start of season, mid-season, end of season. That would be nice. Edit some drivers because Max was the same rating as Leclerc. Honestly, that's the thing though. You can edit those things as you see fit. Tsunoda managing to get some damage before the end. Classic.
Proud of you.
But yeah, it's a single player game, so feel free to use the editor as you see fit to make it more fun for yourself.
And the winner of today's sprint.
Development is so small, only 6 races in Prop 3 best car. Aaron, if you can beat the board's expectations, like say you are going to probably be third, as you're saying. If the board is expecting you to finish third or higher, it's fine to start focusing a little bit more on research. That's not a problem. It's a me problem. I got sacked when I was second in constructors. Yeah, the thing is, Martin, that the board really hates death. It hates death more than bad results, even if it's like a penny. So just try and avoid that like the plague. Oscar in this game is like Mick from F1.2. Yeah, you just been good at crashing. It's Schumacher, Reese. Yeah, that's a bit problematic, Jake. It's unfortunately the limitation of playing on consoles, but it is what it is. Just have to deal with it.
Tension continues to build.
Yeah, that's true. He actually sees the corner and gets spooked. Well, interestingly enough, he did pick up a grid penalty for this week in practice somehow. So, yeah, I understand what you mean. The engines is going to go yellow during this race. That's just how it is. But we are going to have to run these engines down somewhat. So I think we're just going to take the bad engine here for... we're going to take the bad engine here for Norris as well. Run this for the next 2 races. And we're going to do the same for, as I said, Piastri. We don't want to spend 5 million on an extra engine for both of these boys, if we can avoid it. So we'll take the less, you know, the drop in performance and just live with it. It's basically the best we can do at this stage. It is what it is. Bumped all his stats by 3? Yeah, that's fair. How do I edit ratings? There, if you go on Reddit, there's a guy called Ignacio. I think I actually linked. Did I link the editor in this in the description? I don't think I did, unfortunately. But there is a guy on Reddit who's called. Let me just double check here. Ignacio Oreda. So if you just search database editor on the Apple Manager Reddit, it should pop up basically immediately. And you can have a look there on the editor. Pancake me? What? What is this? Yeah, with a tool. Careful with pass, you might see a chicane and then end up with brown boxes. It could happen, but we'll try our best there. Now, degradation is actually pretty severe, so... Two-stopper is probably going to be the play. No, two-stopper is not going to be the play because we're having rain. We're having rain for dinner. There's going to be inters for the entire race by the looks of it. Pretty much once we hit lap 12, so starting on softs is probably the play here. Run them a bit more aggressive. So we'll do that. We'll start them on softs. Again, we don't have the best weather center. So we probably don't know exactly when we're going to get into, you know, the wet department, so to speak. But we'll do this. Can potentially run it full attack the entire time. But we'll see as we get through the race here. And the timing gets a little bit updated. We'll probably run aggressive for sure, though.
Here among the Austrian mountains, the grid is now...
Yeah, it's a bit complex to install that Sergum editor, but it does the job really, really well. To be fair. Okay, lights out, away we go. Goal here on third. Let's see how far up Alonso actually does manage to get here by the end of this race. Ocon picked up a penalty. We've had some first corner mayhem. Doesn't look like he damaged his front wing though. And he is at least going to avoid having to pit for that damage as well, so that is good. Ooh.
What was that, honestly? Oh.
Okay, let us speed things along here. So yeah, we're gonna run the first 2 laps attack, push everything. It's just the best way to do things. When you have rain races too, you don't really need to worry about fuel. You can basically push this down to about 2.5 kilos, in my opinion. And we will try and take fastest lap here too, before it starts raining. But again, it's a sprint weekend, so it's kind of buggy. It seems like if it counts or not, which is a tad annoying. But it is what it is. We'll just have to deal with it. Did I know this is pre-season? When assess sponsor obligation, income per race figure doesn't change whatever changes I make. Are you thinking the full number? Because it should change. Basically, if you do merchandising, I know that you do get more money per race. So probably just an EUI error, to be fair. Unless I'm misunderstanding you. Can Piastri pull aggression on Belgium 2012? Hard to say. Guess it could be, but I think you'll be fine, BT, honestly. Highest times. Of course, Ocon picks up the 5-second penalty. So I think rain is actually coming earlier here. Nope, coming exactly where we expected it. But with this, I think we can go full attack. Even if it's going to be really, really light here. I guess we'll wait a lap or 2 more. Or rather, we can go attack and just try and pull away from Verstappen. Let's do it. Hello, Leo. Leoko. That tanks his penalty for Ocon. Race broken, push fully, whole race got full and not lost any. I'm not sure I understand you there, Stego. Ocon just picked up a penalty for me as well. Yeah. I don't think it's wrong. Death and taxes thingy. Ocon's gonna get a penalty. You know, death, taxes, they're certain. Ocon getting a penalty. Piastri crashing. Breaking cost cap. Basically the certainties of this game. But yeah, the dry to wet is going up pretty slowly. We'll probably do at least a few more laps. I got counted in the rain by the Oscar. You like Caesar going even you, Oscar? Okay. Now we have a 1-2 here. Verstappen lost a little bit of time there, so we can actually pull away. So we're just going to stay out. We're going to have to do them one at a time, though, for the pit strategy, which is going to be very interesting to see how we pull this off. We're getting to 50 now. At this rate, it's probably going to take, again, basically 3 more laps before we get into proper inter-territory. But the tire should survive that long for sure. And the bigger the gap we get here, the better, honestly. But we will see how we do. Also, just a heads up, I have to see how much I'm going to be streaming this coming weekend as well. Because I am having a new neighbor move in. So depending on how, well, potentially noisy they are going to be, because the wall here actually is connected to the neighbors, we'll have to see if streaming is going to be viable or not. Now, we are getting close to that 2.5K matches, so we'll just tune down the fuel usage a little bit. I think it will be fine. Goes really fast in this game, yeah. Ocon just took out Bottas. What's the benefit of running an intense part upgrade? So every stat Martin has expertise stats. That is what makes up your part. Each part has several different stats. Each of those stats has an expertise. And the expertise goes up with a standard rate of, well, let's say just say 1 if you do normal. It goes up 1 times 5 times as quickly if you do intense. So basically, you progress 1.5 times quicker at 3 times the cost. That is basically the point of... is it time now to pit? It's not really going up much anymore. I think we'll stay out for 1 more lap here. Although I probably should have pitted Piastri, to be fair. So we'll pit him. Then we'll pit Norris the lap after.
Copy.
Like so. Yeah, I should have pitted Piastri this lap, but it is what it is. We are getting very close to that, proper inters here. It did slow down kind of hard, so we'll have to see it. Rice might actually be the best choice for a while. It'll depend on how quick Piastri is now, so might actually delay Norris by 1 more lap here to see how Piastri does on those inters. The intense is basically just, it is 1.5 times quicker in terms of, gains, but it costs you 3 times as much. Is Piastri losing to Alonso, or is it just maintaining right now? Losing a little bit. I might have done a boo-boo here. I'm pushing as hard as I did. Yeah, Piastri is losing, and it's going down. This is probably the most difficult race that I've faced in terms of just wet weather. So what we're actually going to do here, which is hilariously silly, is put Norris onto a new set of softs and just have him push all out. We're also going to have to run Piastri a bit cooler here. So this is going to be probably a disaster race. But that is what it is here. Let's see who's quicker now. Norris on fresh hards or Piastri on, well, cooking inters. Let's see how that actually plays out. So I think Norris is, a lot quicker here. Look at that, basically a second gain already. So the inters play was not the correct play. It's probably better to just get Piastri in again. Put him on the softs for about 10 more laps. So we'll do just that. Bad gamble on my part. Corners Wild, which is an album for sprint P7, P8. That's pretty good. Rush is still just a 1-time expertise gain. But the way that expertise works is that it's daily. So the longer the project runs, the more expertise you're going to get in total. But the shorter the project runs, the more expertise you'll gain daily, but you'll get less in total. So in terms of money to efficiency perspective, you want your projects to run as long as possible to get the most out of them. Yeah, this kind of shafts Piastri. See what actually happened here now. Did he get hit again? Oh yeah, here comes the choo-choo train. He just taps the wing on the way by, and so the boys just decided to tap Russell. They're like, yeah, you're out. Good luck, boy. Okay, I'm curious about how this is going to affect, because again, I don't actually know at this stage what is the best time to be on. So, yeah, we are kind of just guessing at this point. They've gone on inters, so I'm probably on the wrong tire. But, we'll see, I guess. Not much I can do at this point, anyways. I'm very, very confused because, again, this is basically it running between 0.6, 0.8, not going into full inters. So it's a bigger upgrade. Is it worth the cost, though? Again, it's 3 times more expensive for basically 1.5 times the gain. So if you can afford it, yes, it's worth it. But if you can't afford it, if you're going to hit cost cap, go in debt, or anything like that, just run standard and you'll be okay. I'm playing on the standard graphics settings, a bit old. I haven't actually changed anything yet. Yeah, it should be inters, but I decided to be silly here. It is going up slowly. Because basically until this point, this is when the AI decided to pay for inters, and the bar is just slightly moving upwards. So I should have just kept Piastri out, and he would have been right there. We are going to be basically screwed once this restarts, so I think we are just going to have to do a last to first here with both of them. I don't think we have much of a different choice here because of the error I made. This could get very interesting too, because I think Norris has fairly decent confidence right now. So, okay, I was wrong on that one. So wrong. But yeah, we'll try and make the best out of this. It's just my mistake. I am really bad with gauging that line, if it's good or not, which is why I really would just love for them to set like millimeter counter on either side of this. Would make my life a lot easier.
So safety car is in this lap. Safety car is in.
Rip both of them as a race. Don't worry, we'll make a comeback, I think.
For the restart, it will just be recharge off.
Yeah, they have actually noted that that is a problem, BT. That they would just shoot you train through another driver when they are kind of parked. So it is a bug. We immediately have another yellow. Multiple cars crashed. Albono basically getting his race ruined here. And again, with the confidence system working as it is, once one driver crashes and hits another, it's basically a domino effect that could make some very interesting things happen. Oh, okay. That was basically Albon saying thank you for last time to Hamilton. If you all remember when Albon was running Red Bull, he got pushed off here by Hamilton. So, well, not really pushed off. He tried to go around the outside, didn't really work too well. So yeah, that was basically a, you know, a straight up assault vengeance from that, I would think. Now, tuning him up too high here might be a horrible idea, but I think we might need a little bit more aggression to actually, you know, make up these places. So we'll go for it. We're also going to have to tune down to at least aggressive here so that we don't completely overcook these tires as we go. So it's going to be an interesting few laps here to see if we can actually, you know, get up there or if we're going to be stuck here because of the rain. Yeah, so we crashed into the pits. It's on Yuki for him. Yeah, you can train him up with Tsunoda. That's not a bad idea. The car was sent flying. This guy's such a solution, yeah. Basically that one. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here with Norris and Piastri. See if we can get something out of this. Because again, I did kind of throw them both under the bus here. Just tires were all in the same ones, but Albon did wreck his. So should be fine to run aggressive though. They should survive till the end. I need to, you know, slow down Piastri a little bit, or tune him to an lower setting, so to speak. But it should still be okay. Immediately Norris gets something done. Can we have some more Norris brilliance? Maybe. Let's see. No way Albon is in a net P3 for Coda. Albon is not bad. He's not bad in this game, let's be honest. He's a potentially a very, very solid choice. So I'm not too surprised. Got two Norris up to attack here and just try and get him by. We're going to get Piastri to deploy. Yeah, we are running out of fuel. That is not fuel. We're running out of ERS. That's the thing. And then you kind of need your ERS to get by. Yeah, it's not looking good. We'll see what we can do, though. Did a really good overcut. He got people out of the pits. I was just like, I'll show you how it's done. We'll have to see what we do with both Piastri and Norris, though. Because I believe I said one of them would be P3 or above. So, yeah, Leclerc, we're coming for you. Sometime next year. At this rate. Might need to gamble for another safety car and just be very aggressive in our moves here. We might not actually have a choice in that matter. There we go. Norris got 1. Give him the energy here. Can he get 2? Probably not just yet. We're going to have Piastri try and get by as well. Give him a little bit of energy here on the main straight. Like he can't really get it done, but at least Norris is moving up with us going full attack. But again, this is going to cook the tires severely, so we do need to kind of push through, just get by them and get into pressure. But yeah, Norris is doing work right for sure. One overtake a lap currently. Again, we are cooking these tires a tad, so at least for Piastri, we're going to have to tune him down right now. For Norris, we can probably push a little bit longer. But I think we're going to tune him down just slightly here. Have him cool off just a very, very slight amount. Challenge for the win is really close. If he wins, I would like to see Poco. I really would. Hello, Ninja. The game is indeed more interesting than last year. It's a little bit more, you know, unpredictable. It's a lot more crashing, to be fair, but again, I think that is their way of applying a band-aid, so to speak, on the DNF situation. Okay, we have now both AlphaTauris and Hulk ahead of us. That should be no problem, but yeah, Piastri is probably going to need a little bit more of a hand to get the overtakes done, unfortunately. And he just isn't working very well on, you know, the wet surface here. And that is a tad unfortunate, but we did give him by 1 car there, so we'll let him catch up to the rest of the pack now. For Norris, we're just going to give him the deploy, see if we can get by Hulk. There we are. And again, particularly in rain, you kind of do need to sometimes micromanage DRS to get the overtakes done, which is a little bit annoying. That's what happened when we don't have DRS. How good do I think Hauger is? In-game or in reality? Because in-game, I think he starts at like 71, maybe? I think that this is about halfway through Season 2. It's probably up to 74, 75, maybe? Hello, Wolf. Will I continue to save after the end of the season? Probably. Because I'm still having fun with this McLaren save, and, well, we do need to give Piastri his championship. That's the only way we can really say that a McLaren save is finished this year, I think. Having Piastri win. Norris is having a bit of a hard time here, though, with the AlphaTauris, so we'll see how this plays out. But currently, we are moving slowly towards getting him into points. Podium is going to be difficult, but we can always hope. Piastri's up into 12th. He's also doing well. Kind of leaving him to do his own thing. It is working, though. And with Norris now having overtaken both AlphaTauris, getting himself a little bit of free air, we'll tune him down to aggressive. And we'll try and hunt down Perez, Sainz, Alonso, and Leclerc, which is going to be a bit of a challenge here. 15 seconds between them. So, yeah, I don't think that's happening. But we'll try our best here. And Piastri has now, after I criticized him a little bit, started moving up the grid of his own volition. So, yeah, we'll take that. Where's the other Ollie? I haven't seen him for like a week. Neither have I. I don't know. We'll have to go look for him, honestly. Yeah, it's been a bit of luck in real life. He has been, to be honest. Again, I haven't followed much of F2, honestly, but there's usually a newspaper article. I like to say every month or so, in Norway, that just states that, oh, Hauge did something that didn't work out right. Either unlucky crash, I think there was a DQ not too long ago, so he's not really having the best of times in F2. But to be fair, getting more than one season in F2 is probably good for you, just gaining experience. I think it'll be fine, though. Albon finishes P5. Tsunoda P8. That goes with 2 stop, unfortunately. Tsunoda had a 5-second pit stop. Oh. That's pretty good, honestly. Is it good for Season 2 to just carry on with balanced part, or should it be more specialized parts? Honestly, I'd make specialized parts from the get-go in Season 1. Oh, Rick just sent it. Did he take out Hamilton? Again? Oh, yeah. Hamilton collects another whack. Oh, that is unfortunate. I think it just said a Norris set fastest lap, so that is promising at least. But yeah, that is kind of funny that another driver decided to just give Hamilton a whack on the way by. We are going to have to tune down both of them now a little bit because we are running out of tyre wear. That is going to be the main problem here. For Norris, he can of course catch the cars in front, but it's going to require a bit of a gamble, so to speak, in terms of making the tyres last above that 30% mark. I should do a Scandinavian only. That would actually be kind of a fun challenge maybe, but I don't think there's too many Scandinavians. I believe Vesti is Danish. Magnussen. Hauge, would that be my team? Do we have any Finns still driving? I'm not good with nationalities for the drivers, that's the worst part. So, what would be your dream Scandinavian team, BT? Tyson looks like... yeah. If I'm trying to get Piastri to win, I'll be here till 25. I think I can get Piastri to win next season, honestly. I don't think that will be too difficult. Hauge's been unlucky as fuck, yeah. I think it might just be a bit biased if it was my own nationality. That's the thing though, if he has a bit of an unlucky season now, gets another one where things go a little better, it helps build character too. So it's not necessarily a completely negative thing, but of course it does suck to just be riddled with bad luck. Bottas, yes, of course. How could I forget about Bottas? The man who's, you know, got a naked fetish at this stage, basically. That's what people are saying. But yeah, Bottas, Magnussen, and who would be the reserve? Hauge or Vesti? Bottas and K-Mag wouldn't actually be the worst team too. But who's the most Scandinavian team out of the 10 on the grid? So many crashes? Yeah. Stroll just crashed out on lap 75 and took his teammate out. If that had happened in reality, I don't think the radio would be, you know, all cheer and sunshine like they are currently for Aston. Hello, Nara, currently working on my stream from TV on a store. Thank you, Pano. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying it, honestly. Norwegian and Danish and a Swede. Who's the Swede? I thought Vesti and K-Mag were both Danish, and then we have Bottas, who's Finnish, and then Hauge, who's Norwegian. Yeah. Well, in terms of balance, yeah, that would be true. But in terms of skill, K-Mag and... it's either that, or we pick, say, Bottas or K-Mag, one of them, plus either Vesti or Hauge, and then we take the other Vesti or Hauge and put it as a reserve and race them. I think there is a Swede somewhere. I think Ericsson hit us, yeah. We're currently about to pass Hamilton, which is always scary. He's already been whacked twice. Well, let's see what we do here, though, because, again, we don't have the tyre to do anything here. We just have to kind of accept our fate. We're probably going to be doing an attack for Piastri towards the end, but I think Norris is catching up to these guys. Guys, I was about to say. So I think we'll just have to be happy with the 7th place here. It's a bit unfortunate, but the weather really did play a number on me. So I'll just have to live with that. Make Ferrari the best team on the grid with Bottas and K-Mag. That's obviously true, though. Like, when Ferrari was... I know that this is kind of a meme at this point, but the last time Ferrari was truly great, there was not an Italian in sight. So maybe we do something like that, just for fun. Fix pit exit in quali. Vegas a month, so you lose like 20 seconds. Yeah. Get Raikkonen out of retirement. We could actually... I think with the save game editor, we can also pull Latifi in if we really want to have fun. But yeah, we could potentially pull Raikkonen back. Raikkonen, Bottas, Dream Team. But who would you use as a reserve, Vespa? Vespa? Jasper. Where did Vespa even come from? Sorry about that. I think we are getting to the point now where we are going to have to try and get the attack done for Piastri here. Tyres aren't great for this, let's be honest, but we kind of have to. So we'll try on the next straight here. See if we can fly by Tsunoda. And there we are. So we'll keep on the fuel being deployed. We'll push a little bit more on the energy side. And just try and have Piastri get away from Tsunoda here now. It's going to be the plan. I do not like the fact that the yellow symbol will just keep on reflashing every now and again, even when because we just have this engine damage. We do know that. With that back to neutral, I think we are good to just chill out here. It's a bit of a shame on the extra money here from the sponsor goal, but we'll take the result here, honestly. I know, Ninja. There's a save editor too that you can use it to pull back all the drivers, so it's not impossible. Not even a far shot from it. Yeah. I think we're safe with both our drivers here, so we'll just run it to the end. Although, just want to double check that we don't run out of fuel. Because that would be a tad embarrassing. At least we get fastest lap, but again, it's kind of bugged on sprint weekends. It just doesn't count for some reason. Well, again, doesn't count in the UI at least, so it's a bit wonky, but we'll take that. No damage to the car so far, though. We'll definitely take that. And yeah, the bad result is purely down to me. We'll probably finish, I'd say 1-2, probably, if we hadn't done that extra pit stop. Because we're not too far behind these boys. Like, 3 seconds, 8 seconds, 11, let's be generous and say 13 there. So, 21, 22 seconds with Norris here. Basically a pit stop behind. So, it is a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is here. With this result, though, the Aston 2-3. Really nice for them. Leclerc 4-6 for the Ferraris. 5th with Perez. AlphaTauri and Williams in the points again. With that, the Driver Championship does change a little bit. Verstappen cashes up. He's just 10 points behind. So, we might actually get a fight this season that I did not anticipate. But I'm all for it. And with the constructors, then, we will also have a bit of an interest here with AlphaTauri, but they still have a little bit of work here to catch up. But Williams are still beating out Merc, and that is honestly the most amazing thing that I think is happening in this save. Pickup got Rosberg. It's basically a Finn, but license says he's German. Hello, Jack. Hakkinen, yeah. Hakkinen's never going to retire, let's be honest. Did get up pit stops done. At least they came out on top with no errors, so we'll take that. But yeah, bit of a disappointing result in the race, and it did cost us a lot of money because I gambled on us being top 3 for 5 races. That is just unfortunate. Norris though became 91 rated, which I believe puts him a point behind Verstappen on the C2 have grown. For sure, grows from that practice session we put him in. And the sidepod manufacture is complete. So let's just have a quick look here at the drivers. So yeah, Leclerc's improved to 91. Verstappen is still 92. We could actually kidnap Leclerc right now to make things a little bit more fun. But we're going to keep Piastri. It's part of the fun to see how it grows. Let's see if how we get here. 75, so I wasn't too far off. I said he'd probably be 74, 75. Up to 75 right now. Reserved for Williams. So could potentially see him promoted in the future. Would be a bit interesting. Rosberg, Raikkonen, and Hakkinen. Yeah. Sambo, 32 million left, researching heavily. But I'm also somehow making mid-season championship charge. Beganovic, he's a Swede. Is he? You know. Yeah, he is. So we do have a potential Scandinavian team here. And to make it more interesting, we could say that we need to have one Norwegian driver, one Swedish driver, and one Danish driver. Just to keep things interesting. We could make that happen. But that's probably going to be further down the line when I'm kind of running out of things to do with the game. Wish there was mod that you can add yourself to the game. Could be fun, yeah. You could try to get Verstappen, see how Piastri does at Red Bull. I don't think Red Bull will necessarily pick up Piastri. And on that note, he isn't even interested in coming to our team, so can't really pick him up either, unfortunately. Okay, so we failed suspension and front wing. That is manageable. Let's just get those replaced. Manufacture new front wing immediately. For suspension, we're already, I believe, manufacturing one, but let's just make one more. That should have us caught up. We now have Silverstone. Or Silverstone. And Red Bull is just now 1 point behind us. So we do kind of need a few good results here. We might have to switch off our research focus currently. But we'll see here. So, Stallard's contract is ending. We're going to renew probably all of these contracts, to be fair. So, let's just get that done right away. His current contract is 1 million. Again, his contract does actually go under the cost cap, so it's kind of important to not have that too high. Did I already try and negotiate with him? Yeah, let's give him an extra little bit of money there. 500,000 off the cost cap, so be it. And we want that next season, of course. He did accept that, so yeah. It's a bit expensive, but we'll take it. And I believe it was Piastri and Rashaw. So your current contract is over 1 million. But you don't go under the cost cap, so that's not actually a big problem. Next season immediately. Sorry, next season, there we go. You have improved a bit, so let's put you down up to 1.9, and I'll give you 190 for your trouble. And I think that should be acceptable. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, BT, if you could put yourself in the game with mods. Finding one-off libraries for in-game? That would actually be sweet. Driver contracts do not go under cost cap. Apparently, I overpaid this man. The things that do go under cost cap in terms of paychecks are your 2 race engineers and your sporting director. So, his salary and these boys' salaries of 1.9. I'm paying you a lot of money, apparently. 1.1, so about 3 million for those, and an extra 1 million for him. About 4 million, which we can actually confirm by just having a look here. Staff salaries, about 4 million. So, there's only those 3 you need to worry about in terms of, you know, money. But, still, you need to make more money than you pay out. So, you can't just go completely buck wild on the contracts. That is going to backfire. Considering that you've had a pretty decent growth, I would assume you're going to want more than 3 million, but let's start from there and work up in, I guess, 500,000 increments. Because it's really hard to figure out exactly what they want, and that makes it really hard to discuss, say, contracts like this. Okay, so let's do 750 increments, I think, just to be on the safe side. Okay, that too was too little. We're down to medium. I don't want to risk losing him from being too cheap, so let's just give him 5 million from the get-go. I could, of course, probably increase the one-off as well. Declines that too, so we're currently down to low. If he want more than, say, 7.5 million at this stage, I'm going to be kind of sad. So let's go 7.5. 7.8. Apparently the numbers cited. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so it even declined that, so we're going to have to discuss with him probably again later. But that is kind of mad that he refused 7.8 million a season. So I hope I can, and his morale is high too, so yeah. That should make it more likely, but the fact that he still does not want that. Hopefully, again, the patience for negotiation goes up as we go, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Both of these got their contracts renewed though, so we'll discuss with Piastri later. But it would be a shame if we actually end up losing him, so we'll have to see exactly how we deal with that. Again, we'll just leave this be as it is. The rest of it is also good. Yeah, I think we're fine, honestly. We could save some money, upgrade the science center, but that will be towards the end of the season, I think. So yeah. For Silverstone, we're going to gamble on... Let's just do one drive in top 8, be a little bit safe, get a little bit less money, but when we mess up, it won't cost us as much. And that's going to be what we gamble on. And again, we just do 2 drives top 10 for qualifying position. Basically, it's both drives in Q3, which should be okay. So yeah, let's head to Silverstone. Drivers are insane in the game. They always want more than double their current
Welcome,
contract. Let's
and come on in.
face it right now. We basically gave him a good 5 times as much. So we'll have to see what we do with him later on, because we are going to try and keep him for sure. I'll have to probably figure out exactly how much he wants, as I said, later. But yeah, right now it's going to be a bit of a tough one, honestly. What can we expect for setups? Yeah, Silverstone, we're getting more rain. So I guess Edster cursed me with his rain now. He had rain for 6 summer races, and now it's my turn. Maybe. Well, 4 races, I believe it was. But now I'm going to be basically living the rainy life. As I said, because of the heat and the fact that I have a few things to do, because, well, work and life do keep me busy, I'm probably going to do this race, and then I might have to go. Which is, again, a bit unfortunate that I'm doing shorter streams currently. But I'm hoping to get a longer stream done this weekend, hopefully, to kind of make up for that. But, yeah. I'm sorry, it's just how life be right now. I think everything is set up then. I need to click this button. Give a shore in. And we will simulate the session. Stanwood, Monza, Singapore, and Suzuka. Okay. I'll see if I can beat that streak now. I don't remember if we had rain last time around, but seeing that we had a driver crash out, maybe. But we'll see. So we hit some decent setups right away. So we'll take that for sure. You're at 97%, which means we just need a slight tweak in one direction. So we'll just see if we can figure that out. For you, it's just this one. So like so, maybe. We shall simulate. These would be good. And wait this weekend for the stream. You're hitting at the F1 arcade in London. That sounds like fun, honestly. Honestly, that sounds like a ton of fun. Okay, so for Norris here, we basically already figured out the perfect setting. I think this might be it. Probably is. Potentially, we might want to do something like this. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll try and send me through like that and see if we hit 100%, because otherwise I'm gonna have to tweak the other numbers a little bit too much, and I'm not too much of a fan of that. Let's try this. We just want to find the optimal window for that one. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at what the F1 arcade has to offer after 3 months, because that sounds like fun. I have some very football happy friends who wants to pull me for a trip to the UK to watch football games. In this case, they're Liverpool fans, so we'll see if we can make a stop somewhere. I'm not planning on going right now, but I am tempted. I think we're still going to use that bad engine. No, we're going to use the good engine for quali, and then we'll switch to the bad one for the race. Let's just double check for Norris here too. Yeah, he's good right now. We'll have to use those bad engines for another race here, just to be safe in terms of, you know, not using an extra engine for the year. If we lose the championship, so be it. It is what it is. Because honestly, I'm more worried about getting the cost cap kind of running than if we lose said championship status. So completely dry quality here. Should be okay. Why? Why what, Ninja? Okay. Guess I understood and explained without meaning to. I hope.
Drive to the Delta.
But yeah, if it was about the using yellow engines, it's basically just so that we can stretch them enough that we don't have to buy an extra engine for the rest of the race. Silverstone Festival? That also does sound like fun, yeah. Hello, Pocanaldo, welcome back. You had to do something. Sounds like me. Why we lose championship? Because currently Red Bull is pretty strong. But the way that we're currently set up is that we basically have to choose it between buying extra engines, basically costing us for next season, or gambling on the championship because Red Bull is, as said, very strong. So we're going to need stellar performances from Piastri for the rest of the season, which is going to be difficult. And as I said, those engines that we might need to buy, because we're definitely going to have to buy a gearbox. We are going to have to buy an ERS at a minimum. So potentially what we have left of the cost cap, which isn't a huge amount, we might need to use a lot of that to, you know, build car for this year if we want to win, rather than do car for next year when we have a better chance of winning. That's a little bit of a weird one there. You should ask your friends who are Liverpool fans, what does it feel like for your team not to be in Champions League next season? I think they'll be my friends if I ask them that. To be honest. Should probably also fix this before we started the quali. That's also on me. I think they'll take it with a laugh though. They're fans, but they aren't super serious fans that would, you know, strike you down if you ever dare to say anything negative about their team.
Track should be green now.
I'm not too worried. Pocanaldo, are you at a race weekend? Because if not, it could just simply be the AI not having put in their new components or replace the damaged ones. If you do the car analysis at the race weekend, you'll usually have
And we are boxes lap.
the best estimate on how you are actually doing.
Your P6. That's a decent lap. That's a decent lap.
I haven't been in that situation myself, Rob, but what I assume happens is that the game is going to force you to buy an engine. That is basically what I would think. So, Ocon with a 23 lap time. We're going to try and send Piastri out here on those old softs once more to see if it can improve so it can get through while saving extra set of tire. It's not vital here by any means, but it is always a nice little side quest, so to speak. But yeah, Poker, you can check on race weekend, see if it's still the second best one. Because I had a few interesting ones with that on that first save. Like, wait, this does make sense. We might need to call Piastri in here, unless he's really improving. He isn't. It's gonna be a bit rough. We're gonna have to manually take control to get him through here in time. Hopefully we don't get the glitch. We can configure it once. Okay. Like so. Speed slow thing time down here. There we go. Now he's allowed to be sent out. Yeah, now it's gotten worse. I knew that. Imagine if I'm last place in the stand next season. I don't think that will happen unless we have DNFs every single race. Okay, so as you can see here, we have 127 to get over the line. And that is going to be a little bit, you know, doubtful here if we pull that off. So Piastri might be out here just because I'm being silly. So we're going to go a little bit aggressive here so that we might get to that line in time. This is going to be probably a bit too close, honestly. But hey, at least we warmed up our tires. I think we just made it. Yeah, just made it there. We don't have maximum energy, so this might not be a really good run either from that perspective, but we'll see.
Pack is low.
Yeah, we ran out of battery. We are still improving on our best time though, so we did do still well. Basically, not too far off Norris there. We'll take that. Too many crashes in F1 Manager. I go downstairs for some food, come back and it says error. They fixed a lot of, you know, crashes though. Like, if you remember, I don't know if any of you were here. Well, some of you were for sure. For that release stream of mine, but every like 2 or 3 races, the stream would just, well, not the stream, the game would just straight up crash when starting races. It's been ages since I've seen one of those again, but I've been having a new one that happens every now and again where it just crash mid-race. That one's more rare, like 1 in 10, 1 in 15 maybe. So they have definitely fixed a lot of the crashes, but I'm looking forward to them fixing some more as well. And it's going to be good. Yeah, we're going to have to run with that. Let us have a quick look here. And that's that. We're going to be running the yellow engine. It's not really recommended. We're going to do the same with the ERS, just make sure that it lasts enough. So this is also going to hurt our car because we are running damaged components. But we are kind of going to have to, just to make sure that we can actually... excuse me. Just so we can actually make sure that we have good bonus at the end of the season. So it's basically a balancing act between buying extra components for a little bit of performance, or saving money for some performance next season. That's the way that I look at it. And I shouldn't do this yet, because we're not done with qualifying. What am I even thinking with right now? So yeah, as you can see, the heat here does make me do interesting stuff. Let's just put it like that. So let's get the second qualifying, or qualifying 3 done with. And also put on the broken tires. Yes, I believe it does.
Okay, so that's a green light.
1 second, I'm just going to close my window. There's some kids playing just outside, so don't want them on the microphone. And of course, and they're kind of distracting as well. First season in the game, I broke this cost cap by summer break. Well, that's impressive. That's when you know you're partying hard, if you break the cost cap before halfway through the season. Assuming we're doing a lot of intense development or just having a lot of unlucky crashes, though. Okay, not the worst start here. We're gonna reset and run on, you know, the fresh tires, and then we'll see where we're actually standing before the race. So Norris, they will have a grand total of 3 sets of softs. So if they are breaks the soft rule, you know what we're gonna do. Probably not the same thing. It's probably not gonna be the quickest strategy, but we'll see.
P4. Okay,
Now we should have enough time here that we can do 2 runs for sure. As long as we cross the line here before 1:26, we should be good. Norris is going to have to tackle getting through a lot of these. But on the next lap here, they'll be doing a push lap as well. So it won't be too bad. Now, if we run with Verstappen, I think we're actually blocking Verstappen right now. Kind of. So we'll see. If Norris does not improve, he is going to be, as I said, blocking Verstappen. So that's an interesting one. No improvement for Piastri, but 1 and 3 is still very acceptable. Where was Albon? Right here. I have a feeling my research didn't work. I'm in season 3 and season 2 I started research halfway through the season. Now in season 3, when I checked rules and regulations, the research is still there. That would actually be kind of weird, but I wouldn't put it past the game to have a bug like that. But try and reload your game. Should. I'm just gonna call you Aloofs. Honestly, I'm butchering both your names, so apologies. But yeah, just try and reload your save, and that might update it. Does research cost less than the site? No, they cost exactly the same, but you don't have the rush and intense options. So it's basically like running a standard design. Okay, first and third, Piastri in front. This could get interesting. And we are, of course, going to have rain, which means that I'm going to make a absolute horrible strategy. We need to stay alive for at least 25 laps if we want to make this work. Can we do a 25 lap run? We can on the mediums, potentially. What is the difference in tire drag? Softs here, a little bit over 10 laps, 12, 13, 14 maybe. They will have advantage over the mediums, but they will not last long enough. Mediums will have advantage for 30 laps over hards. Okay, we're doing mediums. We're starting on the mediums, and we're going to gamble on them lasting just about enough for us to get there. And if they don't, we're going to be sad. Because, again, we can't really push on this track. We are going to have to run standard. Now, Norris might get into a position where he can push because of his high smoothness, but this basically yells that we're just going to have to run standard, go a little bit aggressive on the get-go, then tune it down as we go. Still beating the Red Bulls with AlphaTauri, this could mean your car would be a rocket ship. If it actually works like that, though, that the research is bugged in that manner, that any research you do sees 1, gets applied again for season 3 and 4, that would be kind of broken in.
It's lights out and away we go.
In the summer break, is it good to do research but didn't spend a lot of money on the cost cap? In what way did you not spend a lot of money on the cost cap? I forgot to actually put in the bad components here, so we kind of have to win now. So are you thinking of switching your engine, your ERS, and your gearbox? Because you can switch those freely. It's if you go over your allocation that you take a penalty. What I'm meaning here, sorry, Ninja, is how much money do you have left on the cost cap? Because if you have a lot, you could do a couple of, say, intense design pieces to just speed things along. But other than that, it's perfectly fine to do research. It's probably the best bet if you are in a stable position, honestly. But it's generally up to you there. I did forget the balance this again. I don't feel myself with this. That's the thing while I'm playing right now. That is kind of personally very annoying. But we'll deal. Experimented with Red Bull. All the slides minimum expect top speed, acceleration. Yeah, I would imagine that. Honestly, you can do research anytime you want, honestly. If you're in a stable position where you can't really move up or down, I'd suggest you do research rather than design, personally. But it is up to you when you want to start doing it. Is Alonso running softs? No, he's running mediums. He's just being really, really quick for some reason. This is going to be an interesting one. Hello, Lewis. I'm glad you enjoy. The thing with how far Park Firma is in this game, you can switch your powertrain components freely, like really freely. But if you say buy another engine and go over the allocation of 3 engines to 4, or if you have the regulation change where you have 4 to 5, using that engine is going to give you a grid penalty. But you can move these 3. You can actually switch around as much as you want between quali, between the race, between, well, virtually everything. So no need to worry about that. It probably shouldn't work like that, but that is how it works right now. Hopefully this will be Inter's territory, because if this isn't Inter's territory before here, I'm going to be sad. I have to keep Norris for 6 seasons as his release clause is 60 million. It's going to go down each season though, so I think you're fine. Honestly, keeping Norris isn't exactly a punishment either. He's virtually the 2nd or 3rd best driver currently in my game after a couple of seasons. Yeah, that's fair, Ninja, honestly. I'd wager there's no real wrong way to play the game, but there are ways that will get you fired playing the game here. So, depends on how you look at things. And I think a lot of people can have a lot of fun with just experimenting. It's good, but I want to use other drivers. Who's your reserve and secondary driver then? I'm curious
There's
now.
a yellow flag now.
I don't think Alonso's necessarily pushing his tires because with the smoothness stat here, Norris is having a bit of an advantage just basically from there. But we can check on the lap history for Alonso. If we check his tire temps. So yeah, he was pushing for about 5 or 6, well, 4 laps or so before he started cooling down his tires. But after that, he's been kind of caught as a result. We'll go balance now. Can probably push a little bit more, but we'll play it safe. $30 RS for Albon. He got no penalty on a sprint weekend, but Logan did on regular weekend. The thing is, Scosa, you can buy those at any given time. You don't get the penalty when you buy them. You get the penalty when you use them in quali or race. But sprint weekends are kind of a weird one right now, where the penalties don't really apply until the race itself, I believe. So I think also someone did post on the Reddit at one point that they had avoided penalties by getting new components during a sprint weekend. So there's some interesting and weird bugs going around right now. And that might be one of them. For Piastri, we actually have to run him light, and if he gets overtaken, so be it. We do need to save those tires a little bit more to make it to the rainy period here. Because we might need to make it, as I said, a few more laps into it. Maybe even closer to 30. So Norris should be okay, just barely. Piastri is going to be the concern. Yeah, that's the thing, Waldo. The penalties are supposed to be applied in the race, but a few things for.
Let's get back in the rhythm.
Okay, so you decided not to drive back on. That's a little bit sad. But yeah, that cost Norris all his advantage now, so that's going to be bad. I think we'll still be okay. But yeah, penalties are supposed to apply for race, but the way the sprint weekends have been kind of implemented is kind of weird because sponsorships seem to take the fastest lap in qualifying position as what happened during the sprint weekend. So there's a few weird things going on with sponsorships, there's a few weird things going on with penalties, so it's a little bit back and forth, a little bit hard to figure that out. So now it's out of Q2 by 2,000. That is almost as unfortunate as it could have been there. Almost maximum unfortunate. Yes, that was a lock-up Bedster, unfortunately. It is what happens sometimes. And it does put us in a kind of compromised position.
On the radar.
Because these tires are running down to low. But Verstappen and Stroll, I think, no, they started top 10. That's why they have so much less time than the rest here. I think. I'm going to have to see what actually happened with those two. Now, you've just been running a shit tire that you've kind of been pushing a little bit too hard here, as you can see from the temps. So he's going to have to pit before the rain. Unless they're going to try and gamble on staying out of this, which is basically a guaranteed way of getting themselves a puncture.
It's raining.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how this is going to be panning out. Do I ever pit for a new set of softs? Yeah, if I have the gap, of course, there's no reason not to. Fastest laps gives extra money and extra points, so if you can, you should. But keep in mind that with the pit crew error chance, sometimes it might not be worth it. So you'll have to, you know, make your own decision there. Would I like it if they did a sprint shootout update? Are you thinking, you know, moving it to the current system? It would be nice, but I wouldn't think it was something that is high up on their, you know, priority list, so to speak. Thank you, Skusa. Let me know what actually happens with that. So Verstappen is still safe, but again, I don't think he'll be safe for much longer. And as you can see, you can just see now how slow it is. Did he puncture? He did. Verstappen has achieved the puncture. So yeah, that is actually a good thing they've added. Well, it's under 30%, but you can get punctures done. And this is basically gonna potentially ruin Verstappen's race for sure. And he is kind of holding up everyone else in the process. It's kind of funny to watch. Now, rain is still not here at the level where we need it to be, and it has actually gotten kind of, you know, delayed. So we need to keep these tires alive, so we're just gonna run conserve to be on the as safe as we can be. Because I don't think Verstappen is gonna be putting on new inters here, so we just want to survive at this stage. And as you can see, Albon, Sainz, they are also running really low on durability. So potentially, yeah, we could have a few more punctures. That could make things really, really interesting. Hello, competitive brain. I'm sorry, I should probably announce it a bit more then. Do I lose time if tires are too hot? Someone actually sent basically a question to Frontier with that, and what they said was you lose time, you basically lose from wear, not really the heat. And I don't know if that is accurate or not, but if it is, then this right here, where it says tire performance, would be incredibly misleading. So I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was actually the facts. So generally though, if you run the tires too hot, you generally will be making it up from
Struggling with.
you generally will be making it up from running attack or aggressive. So honestly, I wouldn't be too worried about it. It's basically Rather than managing tire heat, you're managing tire degradation. This is the way I'm looking at it. 26 changes are pretty crazy, pretty much 50% in everything. Yeah, I would expect that, Miller. I think that one is kind of, you know, guaranteed though. Okay, we're at 50%. We are getting a little bit more moderate rain, so we could hope for it going up quicker for Norris' sake. Do I want to gamble on getting Norris in now? I think we'll run one more lap here, even though it is, you know, bad. Just to be on the safe side. The puncture chance is on 20. I think I've seen someone hit it at 25, but I don't know if they might have locked up the course set. But yeah, once you get below that 30% mark, you're not going to have a too good time anyways. It's going up slightly too slow here, I think. Alonso is choosing to pit though, so let's get both of our boys in now and try and make something out of this. It's going to be a bit of a double stack, but it is what it is. I think it's better than keeping our cars out at this point. Should probably have pitted one last lap as well. But as said, it is what it is. We didn't actually lose too much, I think, with this double stack. Well, Norris did come out behind Sainz, which is a little bit at least. But I still think we're okay. Piastri is actually getting overtaken by Gasly, who hasn't pitted yet, so it's not there yet, but it should be there soon. 85, yeah. I think we are getting there rather rapidly now. And Stroll is pitting. Piastri should come out ahead of him, I would think. Even Norris should. So, yeah, we're good. Verstappen pits again. That's going to hurt him a lot. And with that, everyone but Gasly is now on the new tires. So we're just going to give deploy order here and get by him, I think. Might even have to do the driving clean air thing. There we go. So yeah, we'll manage this race a little bit now and see how it goes. Only going in 20%, yeah. So being American actually has K-Max wrecks every damn race. You like this for everyone else? A lot of drivers are wrecking the cars for a lot of people right now, so wouldn't surprise it. Ed is running a house save though. He generally can give you good tips on how to get your car running if he's around. Yeah. Basically, the way that I understood the way they changed that is that once you hit 30%, your chance of punctures increases as it goes lower. But if you're really unlucky, you can actually hit it at, like, say, 30%. It is basically just a sliding scale. Now, we can stay on these inters to the end, so for now, we're just going to run it as standard for, like, 3 or 4 laps. Well, not even that, about 5-6 laps. So we can be sure we can run it on aggressive. Because, well, I just want to be safe, honestly. Because with this, we basically have Verstappen far at the point. So as long as Norris gets a good result, we'll be happy.
The track and how's the pace?
The other Alfa Romeo is Schumacher. His name doesn't show up.
I think we're definitely getting towards the window.
That sounds like basically a big annoyance, honestly, Flute. Probably was fun though. Can run a very low engine, yeah. You can, but I'd still not recommend you do that in anything else in practice. Yeah, the no name is Mick Schumacher. As you can see, we have Bottas here, then we have Mick Schumacher. His name just doesn't show up. Did kind of use a little bit too much energy here for Norris, but that is what it is. If he can get Stroll and Sainz, I think we'll be happy. But again, we'll just wait a few more laps and then we'll tune him up to aggressive. So for now, we'll just speed things up slightly. I did put on ERS for both. Nice. And as we get a little bit further in, we'll go a little bit more aggressive. We just want to make sure that these tires survive till the end. So for Norris, we can probably go aggressive already now. He has more smoothness. He is looking good. I'd still wait probably a couple more laps for Piastri just to be on the safe side, because he when I turn him aggressive, he might actually have a degradation that is higher than what we think, and that could really, really backfire. Who do I think will replace Perez down the road? Lando friends with Max, believes rumors have Mark Webber. Piastri having talks with Red Bull. Honestly, Piastri to Red Bull would be insane, because then they basically capture like both quote-unquote generational talents. But what I'm thinking is that they basically the idea with putting Rick in AT is just straight up testing Sonoda for one, but also seeing if Rick still has it. If say Perez just can't perform for the rest of the season, I think they might let him go a bit season early. But like if they could get Norris or Piastri in the car, I don't think they would have too many issues with that. I think they would go for it for sure. Let's go all in there, see if we can get Norris by these boys. Norris is fighting for his life with everything he has right now to try and get by Stroll, and Stroll's just saying no.
We don't want to overcook the tyres.
Yeah, confirm.
We'll try until we run out of energy, then we'll just fall back a little bit, save a little bit of tyre. Yeah, Norris is not having a good time here. There we go, finally. So, we'll run standard for a little bit here. We'll still deploy a tad. Just so we don't immediately get re-overtaken by Stroll. But getting Sainz is going to be kind of important for us. And Norris might actually pull it off without help. The Piastri to Red Bull for 26. Yeah, it could be interesting. The way the balances works, Jasper, is pretty straightforward here. It allows your driver to take control of part of your battery. They'll use it when they're battling, either to overtake or defend automatically. Which means that it's basically, you know, an automation of, a somewhat automation of the battery. They'll only use it when battling though, so they won't like do deploy to get more lap time. And they'll generally just recharge it too every now and again when they have an opportunity. So it's basically, as I said, you hand the control of the battery over to your driver, and they usually handle it pretty well. So I'd recommend just putting it on, honestly. Yeah. Piastri to Red Bull for 26. That would be one heck of a pre-contract. Yeah, I think they will give Checo the rest of the season too, even if he's underperforming. But if he underperforms, I think he's good. The next season was going to be, you know, kind of the spooky one for him. Because I don't think they will be tolerating, you know, not performing for too long. That's the thing. Okay, Norris is getting Sainz here, looking good. Next up is, of course, trying to catch Alonso for both cars. That's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. But I think we can pull that off. We'll have to see though. Right now, Piastri is running about the same lap times as Alonso. Alonso is just a less than a tenth quicker, so basically no chance of catching him if this remains as it is. So we'll see. I have that Alfa Romeo glitch, the Invisible Man. Yeah, it is Schumacher, it is a bug, but I believe there's also some other drivers you can pull that off with. If they did not have the car, Checo would be out in March. Potentially, yeah. Well, probably not in March. Probably at least by Austria. Because he had a pretty good start to the season, to be fair. Helmut Marko was seen on the phone after crashing Hungary practice. Yeah. Marko is kind of ruthless. But that is actually a good trait to have for someone who has managed as a race team. Because you kind of sees things as they are. FI is pressuring Red Bull to replace him. They want inter-team rivalry. To be fair though, I am very interested in seeing I know Checo isn't really too highly rated lately. But I would see like Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, basically in the same car as Verstappen, and see who, you know, super performed. That would be kind of interesting. But just 4 laps to go here, we're going to tune into full aggressive for both of them. I think that's fine. We aren't really catching, as you can see here, Alonso. But we'll try here, and if we can't close the gap anymore within these next couple of laps, we'll just go ahead and surrender the white flag and be happy with second and third. I think. And we gained 8 tenths that last lap, so potentially, maybe, an attack by the end. Tyres is probably not going to survive this, though. That is the thing. Even if you catch Alonso there, the tyres probably are not going to be able to survive it. So we're probably going to get re-overtaken. Because we still have 2 more laps to go with 33%. So if Norris was in Piastri position, this would probably look a lot more promising. Which is a tad bit unfortunate here. But we'll still try and see what we can do here. There we go, tyres are gone. Bono. So we'll just tune him down here. Don't want to risk the...
This is the last lap.
Don't want to really risk the potential for a... what's it called? Puncture, and then it takes out his teammate. We want to try and avoid that. So hopefully Piastri will be safe here. And there we are. Second and third. It's not bad, honestly. It's a good result here. Verstappen out of the points. Perez in 6th. That's going to save us a lot of... that's going to give us a good chunk of points. We'll take that for sure.
Now, wasn't it an excellent showing from Oscar Piastri?
Checo's not that good in Top Car. It's only good to be the best at the rest. Yeah.
Team can be proud of. Excellent strategy and perfectly executed.
That makes it all worth it, doesn't it? Seeing your team
this is season 2.
share the celebrations.
Yeah, second and third, it's acceptable, as I said, for sure here, considering where we were last race. Perez the only one that scores for Red Bull, meaning that for the Driver Championship here, we do kind of launch Lando ahead. Should probably have ordered Piastri to step aside there to give Norris a few more points, but it's fine. With that, though, as said, we do rocket a little bit further ahead of Red Bull. We're now a good 26 points ahead, which is going to be really, really nice. So yeah, I think we're happy with this. Mercedes now back until equal footing with Williams, which sounds very weird to say after Silverstone, but it is what it is. And pit stop wise, we're still doing very, very good. So yeah, we'll take that for sure. We did not get past this lap, though. Kind of forget about that during, you know, with Verstappen pitting, he probably got it. So that is what that is. Front wing research complete. Manufacturer complete. And we do actually have a failed inspection here. So we'll just catch up on this, and then I'm going to actually have to go, unfortunately. Unlucky with the early Norris sprint? Yeah, a bit unlucky, but he made up for it, so it's fine. Bought and put an extra gearbox Logan, qualified P13, for sprint P11, it's starting race P11. Unfortunately, I do think there is an issue, so anyway, I can report this. I don't remember what the site is called, but you can make like a Discord thread on Apple Manager's Discord. Or you can just go to Frontier's kind of bug page. But yeah, as expected, the race and the sprints are kind of wonky. Because if you look at the sprint, when it says where you're going to start, it said, if you remember back to Austria, Piastri was starting 2nd. He had a penalty from practice, and it said he was starting 5th in the sprint. He was still starting 2nd. So for sprint week, it seems that penalties just straight up don't apply. You can take all your penalties there without being punished, which is a bit unfortunate. I think if you could see what weather is predicted before the weekend, you can actually go to your calendar, to your circuits here, and say click on Budapest. As you can see here, you'll be able to see the weather forecast in a week for the Grand Prix. So you can actually check before the weekends. It's just kind of hidden. You won't have a full, you know, forecast. You'll be able to see what days it's going to rain, but that's about it. And it also tells you kind of what you can expect for the rest of the season in terms of rain chances. So for Las Vegas, we're getting 0. For Yas, we're getting 0. 40% chance basically in Brazil. 14 in Austin. No chance in Qatar. So you can kind of see the chances as you go, which is kind of interesting. Why should we not forget? What do I mean by that? I'm confused now too, Rob. What did I say for fun? So I'm confused why you make pass that will not be used. The stats gained by doing that move over to builds after. Mike, the way that the game works is that every part has a stat called basically, well, every part has several expertise stats. And if we go into development here, because we just finished research, I can show you. So as an example here, let's take our front wing, which we're probably going to actually use safety time on. The way that the game works is that each of these 6 stats here has a hidden expertise stats, which basically signifies how good your engineers are at utilizing it. The higher your expertise, the better your stats going to be. And expertise is not part specific; it carries over. So as it increases, it means that the next part you make is better. So even if I don't manufacture a part, the part I make after that one is going to be better because they got more expertise from doing a design or a research project. So you're still going to have gains even if you make parts you don't use. It's basically just for the gain of expertise. And again, expertise is, again, on each one of these, and it's unique to the part, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. And that is fine. Ah, sorry, Rob. Sorry. Is it max for Red Bull as they have Adrian? Probably. But yeah, I think we are going to make another front wing. I'm just going to double check what we're getting hit by in terms of regulations, because I believe it is 5% across the board for this one. Yeah, it looks like it. So the front wing needs a little bit of a buff. Suspension does too, though. So I think we'll put it into the front wing for this one in terms of research. So let's just get that underway, and I'll go through the mailbox before I end the stream because, well, I'd probably confuse myself to death if I had that much mail to go through at the start of the next stream. This will allow us to, for sure, catch up completely on the research aspect here. So we can focus the other parts after this. It'll give us a nice boost in expertise for next year as well. So we'll take that for sure. 22 had expertise, but they've kind of changed how it works here. In 22, you can see your expertise fairly easily. In this year's game, your expertise is bundled in with both your staff and your facilities and your expertise itself. Those three stats are bundled together, so it's kind of hard to see your actual expertise. And, well, it still goes up as you go. Yeah, you should be good, Jack, with that. It sounds like a good plan. And keep in mind also when you do research, if you want most bang for your buck, just keep it at one engineer, because that'll give you the most expertise over the course of the days. Again, we can do this. We'll get more expertise daily, but we'll get less total than if we ran it for 45 days. So this is basically the best one. And as you can see on the right there, that kind of signifies how much less we're getting from cutting the days short. So we'll let it run as long as it can, get a little bit more money out of a little more bang for our buck. School simulation, I believe this is basically the event that allows you to get new gens for staff, so we'll attend. Car development report, again, this one isn't actually, accurate because of a few things, mainly the fact that we just had a race, so there's damaged car pieces out there. Suspension manufactured, that's good. Front wing research, the car part inspection results, we already placed those. Driver dev updates, smoothness 98, we're getting there with Norris. 2 points in cornering for Piastri, 1 point in adaptability, 1 point in reactions. Well, I need to move Piastri over to braking, control, and maybe accuracy sometime soon. But for now, it's still fine. We'll do that until he's 92. And Rachel got himself a couple of points as well. That is nice. When you finish research, it'll tell you like you didn't get anything. So what you should check is your board to see the actual where you're at. Go into your board here, rules, regulations, check the piece. But this doesn't update immediately either. You might have to wait till either the month ticks over, do a race, or reload the save, and that'll usually update these stats here. But you are getting gains from your research. Don't worry about that, Rob. Go to the research. Yeah, it's not a problem, honestly. It's just the UI problems right now. The main bug with research is just the fact that it doesn't the sliders don't work, so it goes back to the balance setting no matter what you do. That is the biggest issue right now. Okay, let's switch to custom. We're not losing any time, so I think we're fine with just focusing on the pit stop errors then, getting those down. But pit stop errors are already maxed, so what am I even saying? Yeah, they're still maxed here, so the only thing that we really need to do is just focus car building. But yeah, I think by the end of this month, well, next month probably, we're going to be able to max our pit crew, which will be nice. Let's check here, 28, 34. We can put in a couple more sessions here. still well rested the day before the race. We can't have that, can we? There we go. Put in one more here. And that should be okay. Just fill in the rest of the car building as well. And then I think we are going to be a-okay. Again, we have the summer break after Spa, so there's no need to worry about filling up the calendar after that. So we are going to be maxing up a crew this month. So that'll be good. Of course, the chance of mistake is from Wary, so I wouldn't worry much about that. But yeah, pit crew maxed. Once this month is done, that'll be good. Yeah, the thing is, Rob, they did some changes and the UI isn't perfect to kind of reflect that. And that is how it is. But that's all I want to do, just to make sure that I don't get confused next time around. As I said, next stream is a bit uncertain, probably sometime this weekend. I know for sure that I won't have time to stream tomorrow. I am pretty sure I won't have time to stream Friday. So we'll have Alpha Tauri, we'll have Alfa Romeo as the rotating thing. Tomorrow will be Alpha Tauri, Friday will be Alfa Romeo, and as I said, will probably be another video with that. But it's going to be... I'm running out of things to actually make videos on, but I'll probably figure out something as we go. But yeah, stream probably next time this weekend again. So thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and thank you to BT in particular, who decided to join and become a member. So yeah, I think I'll be okay. Yeah, I think you'll be fine, Supersonic, honestly. I agree with Ollie. So yeah, hope you all have a nice day. Please don't melt like I am, and see you around next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.